presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
For the 14th season, the Rays and Marlins renew their interleague showdown. In the past, the Citrus Series has featured the likes of McGriff, Boggs, Kotze, and Floyd. Fast forward to 2011, and a new crop of stars has emerged. Joyce and Stanton, Upton and Sanchez, Longoria and Ramirez. The Rays and Marlins are next on Sun Sports. Welcome to Friday Night Rays, presented by the Hard Rock at Night. Tonight we greet you from Sun Life Stadium. Interleague baseball as the Tampa Bay Rays meet the Florida Marlins in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everyone, and welcome. With Brian Anderson, I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Todd Callis will be with us throughout the evening as well. Rays off a 2-game set in Toronto, dividing those games right down the middle. And, Brian, they come into Florida here looking for added offense, which means an opportunity for Elliott Johnson, who will be in the lineup tonight at shortstop.
Yeah, playing shortstop. Offensively this year for the Rays, the shortstop position has not produced much of anything. And in Joe Maddon's quest to upgrade that position offensively, he's turned to Elliott Johnson as of late. He's had 3 starts at shortstop in the last few days. 5 for 10, triple, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. He's played a very good shortstop, and if he continues to produce like that, Joe's going to have a hard time getting him out of that lineup.
Yeah, and the Marlins, not unlike the Rays, depend on very good pitching, and we're going to see one of their good starters tonight, Anibal Sanchez, who is pitching extremely well.
Well, since the calendar flipped from April to May, Anibal Sanchez is 2-0 with a 1.40 earned run average. Those 2 wins have come in his last 2 starts. You want to know how good he's been? Why don't you give a call to the Washington Nationals? 15 innings pitched, just 5 hits given up, 20 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He has been on top of his game. He mixes his pitches very well. A tough guy to guess off of.
So the Rays and the Marlins square off here. The Rays running first in the American League East by a game. The Marlins second in the National League East, back by a game and a half. Rays baseball against the Marlins coming up interleague style in just a moment.
It is an intrastate and interleague matchup between the Rays and the Florida Marlins. Very comfortable night here at Sun Life Stadium as we get you ready for baseball on a Friday night. First game of this 3-game weekend series. And before the game, the Rays actually made a couple of roster moves, getting ready for the Marlins and then heading up to Detroit for the rest of the road trip. And those moves include Justin Ruggiano joining the team. He is called up from AAA Durham. You see his numbers with the Durham Bulls. They have been very good as of late. Dan Johnson designated for assignment. Joe Madden said he hopes they can keep him if he clears waivers and stay in the organization. As far as J.P. Howe goes, after almost a 20-month delay since his last pitching appearance, and exactly 1 year and 1 day ago where he had the surgery, J.P. Howe is on an active roster for the first time since September of 2009. Rob Delaney is optioned at AAA Durham. We caught up with J.P. before the game and asked him how he was feeling for really his second Major League debut.
I feel great, man. It's good to be here. It was just a long haul. Looking back on it, man, it doesn't seem like it was that long, but as the days were one day at a time, seemed like forever. It seemed like this would never happen, and still a little bit surreal right now just being here. I mean, I think I pitched unhealthy in pro ball for about 6-7 years, and now I'm feeling like I used to, and it's almost like a new freedom that I was given just by having some good feeling after games. I don't feel beat up at all or wondering if I'm going to make it to the next day. It's something where I know I got it in me, and that makes it a lot more fun and exciting.
It's a little more electricity in the air for the Rays in their clubhouse as well. A little more of a buzz. In fact, there's more of a buzz here for J.P. Howe than maybe there was for Vuvuzela night last time the Rays and the Marlins were here at Sun Life Stadium. We are ready for baseball. It's a Friday night. We have just over 3 minutes to go to the first pitch. Great defensive play by Johnny Damon as we'll have a little bit of baseball right around the corner. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson with all the action in high definition. Enjoy.
Tonight brought to you by AutoWay, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Tires Plus, thinking tires, think Tires Plus. By AT&T. And by Toyota, moving forward. The Rays and the Marlins square off. Joe Madden has his club all set to move into action tonight as they lead the American League East. Take a quick look at the Rays starting lineup put together by Madden. John Jaso is going to lead off, followed by Ben Zobrist and Johnny Damon. Longoria, Joyce, and Upton 4, 5, and 6. Kopsman hits 7th. Elliott Johnson hits 8th at shortstop. And Andy Sonnenstein, the Rays get another bat in the lineup tonight. Sonnenstein will do the pitching and hit 9th.
Well, Anibal Sanchez will be making his 9th start of the season for the Florida Marlins. You see he has the one complete game, a 3-1 record, 2.90 earned run average, and has been throwing the ball very well as of late.
Coming off a 13-win season last year for the Marlins. And here's Jaso taking the first pitch. And it's down a bit. 1 ball, no strikes, 82 degrees here as we start play. That's too high, says John Hirschbeck, veteran umpire of over 27 years of Major League experience. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. Jaso, who led off so much last year in the leadoff spot for the 3rd time this season. And it's a 2-2 count.
You know, and John Hirschbeck is one of those umpires, going back to him. He's widely been known as a pitcher's umpire, a guy that forces hitters to come up to the plate thinking about swinging the bat.
Jaso fouls it out of play.
It's used to love those games when one or the other Hirschbeck was behind the plate, because you knew, hey, this guy go out there and start pounding the strike zone. Maybe it'll start to widen up for me, and at least, if anything else, just because of reputation, hitters go up there knowing he wants to call strikes, so they're ready to go.
Well, he sets a quicker pace, and there's a base hit back into center field. Coughlin will make the pickup, and Jaso is aboard to start this one.
Well, John Jaso does a nice job here on a ball that's kind of out over the plate, up above the zone. He keeps very short with his hands and lines it into center field. Lead off this game with a base hit. Let's take a look at the Florida Marlin defense. Left to right in the outfield, Logan Morrison, Chris Coughlin, and Mike Stanton. Across the infield, third to first, Greg Dobbs, Hanley Ramirez, Omar Infante, and Gabby Sanchez. John Buck behind the plate.
Now Ben Zobrist stepping in. And that's a fastball in there for a strike. Sanchez will change speeds a lot. He'll change speeds off that fastball.
He mixes his pitches very well to both left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. You go down through his pitch charts and pitch types and everything else. There's just no rhyme or reason to what he does. He doesn't stick with a particular pitch in certain situations. He mixes it up well, and that's why you see there the breakout lefties, righties, but you can understand why he's had the success he's had this year. You just can't guess along with him.
A 1-1 count to Ben. Over to first, and Jaso is back in there. Well, he finally got healthy. The Marlins had been waiting a long time for him to put together a season in which he was healthy, and that happened last year when he made 32 starts, was 13-12. He's ahead of Zobrist, 1-2.
You put a little extra on that fastball and kind of riding it out there, 88, 89, and powered that one to the corner at 92.
What's so good about him is that he'll strike you out, and he'll also force you to hit balls on the ground.
Yeah, his ground ball percentage, absolutely, right at 60%.
There's a popper to the left side. Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop, is there to make the catch. Ben's the first out.
Yeah, and you look at him coming into this ball game, and with that out right there, that's now 50 innings this year for Sanchez. He's got 52 strikeouts, so he came into the ball game with 9.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Very, very good. And yeah, when you combine that with a high ground ball percentage.
Yeah, about half of his outs are recorded on strikeouts and ground balls. Now Damon hits one down the right field line. That ball is twisting and will be foul. Johnny made a bid that's 345 right down the line here. And he hit that one, had some home run distance, but it was pulled just foul.
Here's the swing. You see that uppercut. Johnny Damon pops that ball right down the line, checking, hoping it stays fair. It does not. Stanton's not able to get to it. New life.
Jaso's at first. He opened with a base hit. And a foul ball rolling toward the backstop. Damon with 18 home runs and 98 runs batted in interleague play. It's inside. The step throw to first. Just back in. Jaso to the backside of the bag as Buck made a play on Jaso.
John Buck had a really good idea there, but he took way too long in his windup. Jaso way off the bag, but John Buck really took a long windup, got really long with his arm and slow with the release, and that's what allowed John Jaso to get back in there just barely. Watch this. And I'll tell you what, if Gabby Sanchez has a little bit better aim with that tag, he gets John Jaso because the ball beat him there, and he just swung, missed the hand, and ended up getting him up closer to the shoulder area, further up the arm, and that's what allowed him to get back in there.
2-2 to Johnny Damon. Well, the count is full. Damon, when you look at that interleague's all-time leader list, he's up there in hits, games, runs, doubles, and the top three in all of those. Runner goes, the ball hit on the ground past Sanchez up the right field line. Jaso's going to go to third. Jaso stopped for a moment when he got to second base to take a look back, and Damon has himself a base hit. Hit the ball hard past Sanchez.
Yeah, this ball got smoked. Johnny Damon gets the head out. You see, just eats Gabby Sanchez up. He's playing even with the bag because he was holding the runner on, slides off, and that ball gets beat right by him. You see Jaso not really sure where that ball's at. Has to pick it back up to get over to third base.
So it's first and third with one out in the first, and here's Evan Longoria. Evan on the year hitting .234. And the pitch is a strike. Evan a little over .270 since coming off the disabled list. Back into the screen. 0-2. There are some similarities between these two clubs. We mentioned both rely on good pitching. It's outside. And the Marlins have been a better road team than home team, just like the Rays. The Marlins are 12-11 at home. The Rays 11-13 at home, and the Rays have the best road record at 14-6, and the Marlins are 12-7 on the road. Backhand at first, Johnny Damon. Longoria fouls it, holding the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitches here in the first for Sanchez. 1 out, men at first and third. And he pops Longoria up, a foul ball, and Buck will have room. Makes the catch in front of the Rays dugout.
Well, let's take a look where this pitch was. Sanchez trying to come in on Evan. You see it, gets in there, ties him up. Gets that pop up, keeps it within the field of play, and gets a big out.
Well, it's going to be up to Matt Joyce. Matt, the second leading hitter in the American League, batting .354. And .387 against right-handed pitching. That's the top batting average in the American League against right-handers. Strike one. See, he and Jose Bautista, the only hitters in the American League over .350. Bautista at .360. Rays with a first inning opportunity. 1-1. And a broken bat liner up the right side, fair. That's going to go into the corner. Jaso has scored. They're going to wave Damon around. There will not be a play on him, and into third base goes Joyce, and the Rays lead 2-0. Matt Joyce with his first triple of the year into the right field corner.
Well, the Rays here strike with 2 outs. A changeup. Stays middle of the plate. Matt Joyce was out in front. It broke his bat. Matters not. He kept it just inside the line. 345. It plays deep out there. That's going to clear the bases, and Joyce is able to hustle all the way around and pick up a triple. As the Rays take an early 2-0 lead.
Now it's B.J. Upton. B.J. after the first pitch fouls the fastball back. Strike one. Well, Sanchez, in 4 prior starts at home, has gone 2-0 with a 169 earned run average here. Over 4 on the road. And the Rays, boy, there's a good pitch right there. Called strike 2.
Nice curveball there by Sanchez. We've seen the slider a lot. That slider mid to upper 80s. That curveball right there in the mid 70s. We've seen the fastball get up into the mid 90s. Tremendous stuff.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And a broken bat roller could be a tough play for Sanchez. He throws it low, but Sanchez at first comes up with it to retire the side. Rays score 2, take a 2-0 lead. In the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the inning. Florida will have Chris Coughlin leading off, followed by Hanley Ramirez and Logan Morrison. Gabby Sanchez at first hits cleanup in front of Greg Dobbs. Stanton is in right field. Buck to do the catching. Omar Infante hits eighth. And Sanchez, the pitcher, in the ninth spot.
Now taking the mound for the Rays this evening is right-hander Andy Sonnenstein. Will be his third start. Also had 6 appearances out of the bullpen, 0-1 record, 3.92 earned run average. It's a big start for Andy here. He's had his first 2. He's went 3 1/3 in his first start, 5 innings in his last start. He's got the full assortment of pitches and the full pitch count tonight. It'd be nice to see him take that next step and jump up there, pitch 6 or 7 strong innings.
Well, his history has been good in interleague play and against the Marlins, so we'll see how this works out. Here's Chris Coughlin. The first pitch drops a bit low. Coughlin's hitting .238 and a .326 lifetime average in interleague play against the Rays.
Well, it can be a big adjustment. You know, Andy Sonnenstein started the year off as the long man. He had 1 outing early in the season. Then he went 5 1/3 innings, then didn't pitch for a couple of weeks, and then gets thrown into the starting rotation. And that's not an easy thing to do. So now that he's got 2 starts under his belt, he's kind of in that mode now of being a starter. He's had a couple turns through there, the regular work day, and being prepared as a starter. So this is when you expect him to kind of fully integrate everything. And
well, they got strike 2 here as Coughlin pulled off that pitch.
Well, that was a slider down and in. Good late break on it.
2-2 and a soft liner into left. Charged by Damon, and that ball gets by him. Into second base goes Coughlin. Well, Damon came in and appeared to be in a position to catch it, just didn't.
Well, you don't know if it's the lights. You can see the lights. They're thin banks of lights. You don't know if it got caught in the lights because it looks like you said, Dwayne, he's in good position right here, and it's like he just lost it. I mean, right here, what happened? He fouled it all the way down and just looked like maybe misjudged it. Maybe thought that ball had a little bit more on it, and it died right in front of him.
They're
Either
going
way,
to give Coughlin a double. That's a ball that should be caught. So he hasn't been in the outfield since the 17th of April. And here's Hanley Ramirez. Pitch is low. A ball and no strikes. Well, Damon's been very good for this club in that DH role. And, you know, what we saw right there is one of the reasons the team has been better with the departure of Manny Ramirez. You know, you're going to have to play one of those guys in the outfield when both should be a DH. And only in interleague play to get Damon's bat in there is he in the outfield. Normally, as you know, Sam Fold has been out there. And the Rays' defense has been airtight. They have the best defense in the American League. But not on that play. And now Ramirez takes the pitch down and away. 2-0. Ramirez hitting .217. And .173 against right-handed pitching. It's fouled back. 2-1. Well, the splits on Hanley Ramirez.
He's handling the lefties, the righties. You could understand if this was April 10th. But you're getting in mid to late May. Hanley Ramirez is a better hitter than those numbers would indicate.
Check of the runner. 2-1. That will take the count to 2-2. Foul straight back. On deck, Logan Morrison. Yeah, Ramirez Hit 300 last year, but with 76 runs batted in, 21 home runs, and for him, that was an off year. The 2-2. Ground ball, second base, and Zobrist has it. Tossed to first in time. Coughlin moves to third.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Johnny Damon, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Elliott Johnson, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Kochman, John Jaso catching.
Here's Logan Morrison. And the Marlins really like what they've seen from this young hitter. Takes the pitch for ball one.
You saw his numbers hitting .316, but he's been on base in every game he's played in this year. 21 games. He's only gone hitless in 3 of the 21. Just consistent production. What's not to like?
That's a strike at the knees. It's 1-1. You know, he missed 21 games with a foot injury on the DL. He's an aggressive hitter and an aggressive player all the way around. Did he go? He did not. That's Scott Berry umpiring down at third. 2-1. Andy Sonnenstein making his third start of the year, his 9th appearance overall. Ground ball to the right side. This will get the run home. Morrison is out. Zobrist to Kochman, picking up a run batted in, and now it's 2-1.
That's a tough run to give up. You get a ball that's blooped the other way, that's misplayed, and then 2 routine ground balls to second base, and the Marlins chip into this Rays lead.
Yeah, on the replay, it didn't appear that Damon lost that in the lights.
No, not at all.
And that being the case, it's very difficult that that was ruled a hit. He just misplayed it, it would appear. There's a strike to Sanchez, and you know Damon will be honest with you that way. That's somebody asked him, you know, later on after the game, and if he lost it in the lights, he'll tell you. But if he just misplayed it, he'll tell you he just misplayed it.
Yeah, the eyes never left the baseball. You could just see that, you know, it's almost like I said. He expected that ball to be able to make it out to him. If there was a little bit more air underneath it, it just died, and he came up way short.
And a tap back to the mound. Sonnenstein with the slow toss to Kochman to get Gabby Sanchez. At the end of an inning, it's 2-1 Tampa Bay. to lead it off. Kochman, Johnson, and then Sonnenstein against Sanchez. Anibal Sanchez, and the pitch to him is low. Kochman hitting .330. It's a hot shot foul. Well foul and out of play. 1-1. Ground ball right side. That comes up on Gabby Sanchez, and the toss to the pitcher just in time to get Kochman. One away.
Well, Saturday, May the 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final as Sir Alex Ferguson and his Manchester United squad looks to avenge their 0-9 defeat to Barcelona. Fox Sports exclusive coverage begins Saturday, May the 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition. Dwayne, I'll tell you, I think that the speed of Nani down the wings and Chicharito's elusiveness in the box should give Wayne Rooney and the Red Devils a distinct advantage over Barcelona, or Barca, if you will.
And especially if the Red Devils know how important that game is to you.
I mean, they really should. So I'm telling you, Chicharito gets it done. Wayne Rooney, he's been playing, we talked yesterday, since he was 12?
Yeah, or 11 maybe even. A ball, 2 strikes to count to Elliott Johnson. Rays scored twice in the first. The Marlins got a run in their first. It's outside, 2-2. Count is full now. Sanchez beat the Rays last year. He pitched against them at Tropicana Field in June of last year. Pitched 7 innings and gave up 4 runs. Came away with a Marlin win. All the way out to Johnson. And a swing and a miss. Johnson, the first strikeout posted by Sanchez tonight.
That was dirty. Slider. Watch this. Right under the bat. Full count. I mean, you see that with the late break on that. Elliott Johnson, he sees that pitch coming on. He thinks fastball middle in. That's exactly what he swung at in his mind. You can see the frustration when he realizes there's a little late break on it.
There's a strike to Sonnenstein. And he takes a look at this one from Sanchez. It's a 1-1 count. One ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Sanchez was about to leave the scene of the crime right there. A little prematurely.
3 strikes in this league.
2-2. He's facing a guy with a .318 lifetime major league average. And Sonnenstein fouls it back into the screen. And he's 7 of 22 with an extra base hit. Among those 7 hits, a double. And he swings through the fastball to retire the side. Well, Dobbs, Stanton, and Buck will be coming up for Florida. Rays lead 2-1. in operation here at Sun Life Stadium. Well, that's part of that camaraderie that makes up, that's called chemistry. Bobby Ramos and Scott Kersey down there.
It's a good thing that there was no camera in this booth.
Wait a minute.
You mean there was?
There could be a camera when you least expect it. Yeah, well, Bobby Ramos just making sure everything's okay down there in the bullpen.
Of course. And how did you know, too, when they threw those two on there that Bobby Ramos would play up to it? You knew it.
He's just a natural. And Dobbs pitches. See? I told you right there. Look, right there, huh? You want,
great.
You want a camera when you least expect it?
That's great.
Yeah, there you go.
That's super.
Yeah, you sit
I want
there,
that
I'm
film
going to sit here.
I want the film destroyed.
1-1 the count. Yeah, there's just, chemistry in this booth, but not that much.
Nah, not to the Bobby Ramos level.
Yeah. Wow. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Bobby, I was going to say Scott Kersey may be speechless, but Bobby's never speechless down there.
Or anywhere else for that matter.
Yep.
Even if we are on a bus at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Count 1-2 to Dobbs. He's platooning at third base with Wes Helms. Yeah, we need every once in a while to have a shot of that bullpen just to see what is going on down there.
When you see Bobby Ramos sitting there, with the mutton chops and sitting up on that stool, doesn't he look like you could just pick him up and put him right into a country bear jamboree at Disney World? He'd fit right in, blowing on a jug or something.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you do. You can look at it. I mean, just airlift him, drop him right in the country bear jamboree.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know. He fits right in.
And it's a friendly face.
Right.
Yeah.
Non-threatening.
Meanwhile, Scott Kersey he's just behaving himself now. He's going to sit right there. That's going to be a soft liner over the head of Kochman into right. And Dobbs has a base hit.
Well, Dobbs just got enough of that cut fastball from Andy Sonnenstein. He comes up and in. See, that ball just gets fisted just out of the reach of Casey Kochman at first base.
Now Mike Stanton. Boy, here's a strong young man, Stanton. 9 home runs for the year. 1-0. A little tap. That will stay fair. And Longoria has to make the play, and it's not going to be in time. So a soft line base hit by Dobbs and the infield hit for Stanton on a ball that kicked back fair.
Yeah, I think Evan Longoria was in between on whether he should let this thing try to roll foul. Stanton, he sees this has a chance, and that's exactly what it did. Evan waiting on that ball. It kicked back fair. By the time he fields it and throws, Stanton was hustling out of the box.
Yeah, that's what hustle will do for you. And kind of a helpless feeling for Longoria. I mean, it kicked, hit foul, and then he anticipated that was going to be a foul ball, but all of a sudden it kicked back into fair territory. Now here's John Buck. And he sends a fly ball back into center field. Upton on the run is there to make the catch. Tagging at second, Dobbs. He will advance to third. And the Marlins have men on the corners with 1 out.
I think off the bat, Dobbs was going to go halfway, then realized that ball was carrying out to right center, and B.J. Upton had to run a long way with his back to third base. So he ends up deciding, you see right there, he sees where VJ is and says, hey, listen, if he's going to go out that far, I'm going to tag up and advance. Get myself over to third base with less than 2 outs.
Rays with 2 in the first. The Marlins 1 in the first. We're in the bottom of the second, and Florida has runners on the corners with 1 out for Omar Infante.
And by the way, Dwayne, he did say all of that. Everything I just said that he said said that.
Ran it through his mind. He's speaking to himself.
He verbalized it.
He did?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't just make those things up.
I'll make a note of that. Here's Infante. And the pitch is down. Infante's hitting .235. Started the year up in the order and struggled. Hit about .210 there. They've dropped him down, and he's hit much better since then.
He's coming off a strong year.
Well, he's one of the defensive improvements the Marlins have made. Down to third. Second base 1, first base 2. Longoria Zobrist to Kochman on a 5-4-3 double play to retire Florida. We're at the end of 2-1 Tampa Bay. Again to hit in the third in the game tonight. All season, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. First pitch to John Jaso is a strike call. Jaso singled to start the ball game and scored the first run of the night. He's behind Sanchez, 0-2. Popped up left side. Dobbs into foul territory. Jaso's the first out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dwayne, that double play that the Rays were able to turn to get out of the bottom of the second inning, I mean, great double play. That ball was sharply hit. Evan Longoria throws the glove out there and turns a double play. Good for the Rays, saved them a run, obviously. But even, I don't want to say more importantly, and here you see the play. There's a checkers double of the game. Evan going right down and getting that ball that was sharply hit by Infante. But what that does is allows Andy Sonnenstein, when he goes out for the third inning, to face the pitcher leading off the inning.
Yeah, and in the National League, that's big. That's one of the things you play for.
Absolutely.
In the National League.
I mean, there were times, I got to pitch in the National League for 5 seasons, and you would try to set up the lineup to do those sort of things because that gives Andy, obviously, leadoff runner on base. I mean, the percentage that they score very, very high gives him a good opportunity to be able to keep that guy off base by the virtue of the fact that he's facing the pitcher.
Yeah, and Andy watched the Rays turn that double play and said, good. Now I'll be able to face the pitcher to begin the next inning.
And he said that?
He said that, actually. He verbalized that. 2-2 the count now to Zobrist.
That's awesome.
Well, a little low with that pitch, and the count is full. Swing and a miss. Zobrist, the third strikeout posted by Sanchez. He struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters he's faced.
Yeah, and his stuff has gotten better, more sharp. That's a changeup right there, running off the plate at 86 miles an hour. He is really starting to tighten up the slider, the velocity on the fastball, and then how about that changeup with the fade?
Here's Johnny Damon taking a pitch low. A ball and no strikes. And Damon did not offer on that one. He's up in the count 2-0. Sanchez right back with a strike. Sanchez out of Venezuela. Originally signed with the Red Sox. 2-2. Got to the big leagues with the Marlins, and then really had to battle a number of physical problems. Had arm trouble, but healthy all of last year and put together a great season. As far back as 2002, he had had that ulnar nerve moved in his elbow. There's a little tap over the mound, charged by Infante, and the throw to first in time retires the side. Bottom of the third coming, 2-1 Rays.
As we head into the bottom of the third inning, The Rays Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express continues Saturday, May the 28th, when pop punk star Avril Lavigne performs her chart-topping hits, including Girlfriend and Complicated, all part of Rays Saturday Nights presented by Bright House Networks. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets. And how about that? You got the pop punk star Avril Lavigne, and how about the pop hunk star Todd Callis?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Todd Callis and the boys appearing at the Algonquin Room in the Algonquin Hotel this weekend only.
I have no idea what's happening.
Bottom of the third.
Apparently.
1-0. There's the strike, and the count goes to 1-1 here to Sanchez. Sanchez leading off here in the bottom of the third with Andy Sonnenstein on the hill. He's fouled back. 1-2. Todd, I'm telling you, if there's anything going on in any ballpark in America, you're going to be in the middle of it.
It's a Fiesta Friday. We're waiting for a base hit, though. If Marlins get a base hit, then it goes crazy around here. So check it out.
The foul ball down the right side. Well, maybe we'll wait for like a 2-out single.
A tripler, if you will.
Something like that.
Right.
Sanchez has a hit this year, 1 for 15. And a ground ball headed toward the middle. Johnson with the pickup and throw. 1 away. Well, the band's still on hold.
And that's good for the Rays.
Yep. They're trying to make a deal. Todd's trying to make a deal. How about if the Rays get a hit? Would you do it if the Rays get a hit? Here's Chris Coughlin now, who doubled his first time, and we're just checking in center field. The Rays have a new center fielder, Justin Ruggiano, who just joined the team up from Durham, is now in center. Pitch to Coughlin is down. 1 ball, no strikes. So we'll have to get a report on that move. It's 2-0. At this moment, Todd Callis is facing a major dilemma. Should he pursue the story about the Rays center field change, or should he stay with the band? And Todd, breaking news.
Yeah, your suggestion has been taken very well, Dwayne. The Marlins Pachanga Band has agreed to play during the next hit, whether it's a Rays hit or a Marlins hit. So there you go.
I'm telling you.
Hopefully they don't get fired because of that.
There's a strike. Well, Todd has this persuasive way about him, and all we have to do is wish that it might happen, and he's there to grant that wish.
He makes it.
There's a strike, and the count will go to 3-2. Rays scored 2 runs in the first. The Marlins scored a run in the first. And a cut and a miss. Coughlin out on strikes. First strikeout for Andy Sonnenstein tonight.
Andy Sonnenstein gets Coughlin with the slider down and in. Good finish. He got way out in front on that pitch. Good release point, down and through it. That's what allows that late break and allows a hitter to think that he's seeing fastball, and by the time he recognizes it, it's too late.
Now it's Hanley Ramirez. Pitch is a strike. Well, the Rays coming off dividing their 2-game series in Toronto against the Blue Jays, and the Marlins were here against the Cubs and dropped 2 games to Chicago. Just missed with that pitch, and it's 1-1. The chopper to short. Elliott Johnson's throw is right there. So it's a 1-2-3 third. The ball game heads into the fourth inning tonight, first of a three-game series. Evan Longoria will lead off the fourth. When we come back, Braves lead 2-1. The Rays lead it. Evan Longoria in the batter's box, all set to lead it off. He swings through the first pitch. Strike one. You saw that shot of Edwin Rodriguez, the manager of the Florida Marlins, and Joe Madden, the Rays skipper. It's a tap down to third. And Longoria is out of there. Dobbs to Sanchez. Time for our AT&T trivia question. How many players have played at least 50 games for both the Rays and the Marlins? How many players have played at least 50 games for both these clubs? Well, Edwin Rodriguez started his managing career in the Rays system. There's a fly ball into right off the bat of Matt Joyce. Stanton makes the catch. Well, Todd's still with the band, waving to his admirers, and they're starting to get jiggy with it. Here's Justin Ruziano. That's a strike. Ruziano taking over in center field in the third inning for B.J. Upton. 1-1. So Ruziano just joining the club here for this series. Fouls that one back. How to play it goes. It's 1-2. The Rays adding J.P. Howell to the pitching staff today, and Justin Ruziano just joining the team. Yeah, there's J.P. He's back there giving Scott Kersey a little backup right now. 2-2. Yeah, that's an entirely different neighborhood down there in the bullpen.
Sit out there all night long, kind of cut off from the rest of the world. You better believe it's different.
marooned in the bullpen.
Yeah. You have the odd angle. You don't have the benefit of television replays.
Cut to miss. Ruggiano out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. Bottom of the fourth coming. 2-1 Tampa Bay. With the band waiting for a base hit when they break into a spontaneous melody. Here, have this.
What is this?
The booth is coming undone.
Literally.
Yep.
You could do some damage with this thing.
I understand. Maybe I shouldn't have given it to you.
I mean, look at the points on that.
First pitch to Morrison. High, deep, and gone to right center field. Well, Logan Morrison did a lot of damage with that bat he was holding. This game is tied. His 6th home run of the year.
Now, Logan Morrison just continues to be productive. He's been on base in every game that he's played this year. Missed, like you said, Dwayne, 21 games. Came off the DL, hasn't missed a beat. Gets a pitch out over the plate, moving back towards him. That's just a mistake. Not a lot of velocity, no movement.
First pitch into Gabby Sanchez is a strike. Well, that's why the Marlins are so high on Logan Morrison. 1-1 the count. 2 runs, 4 hits allowed by Sonnenstein. 2-1. Popped up right side. Kochman tracking it as he backs into foul territory. That's the first out. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. How many players have played at least 50 games for both the Rays and the Marlins? The answer is 4. Jorge Cantu, Cliff Lloyd, Brian Meadows, and Jim Messier. 22 total players have participated in at least one game for both teams, but Cantu, Floyd, Meadows, and Messier at least 50 for both the Rays and the Marlins. And there's Randy Choate. He would be on that list. Strike one. And there's part of what's going on in the Marlins bullpen. again, their own subculture down there.
And that's a good way to put it, subculture. You've got a lot of time that you've got to keep yourself amused, entertained.
Well, that's why the Rays have to be happy that J.P. Howell is back in their bullpen, because they're gonna explore some conversation that they probably haven't had yet in the first quarter of this season.
He'll take them places.
Yes, he will. 1-2. I'll tell you, there's not a guy any happier to be back. He was shaking hands and fist bumping and hugging everybody he could find. He is happy to be back.
It's been a long road, and I'm going to tell you, when you're out for that long and it's because of injury, you really start to doubt, is this going to happen? Will I be able to make it back? And you just don't realize you really have to take it day to day just to be sane.
This one headed toward left center field. Ruggiano will cut it off, and Dobbs is on his way to second, and he is out at second base. The Rays cut him down. Zobrist took the throw, put the tag, as Ruggiano cut it off and prevents Dobbs from taking the extra base, turning it into the second out of the inning.
Well, Justin Ruggiano took a deep angle to cut that ball off. He didn't chase after the ball. Here's our Home Depot doing more on defense. He took a deep angle and then comes up firing. You see the accuracy of the throw, and Dobbs trying to stretch it. It's nailed.
Now the pitch to Stanton, and boy, does he hit this one. That's out of here. No question when Stanton hits him, and the Marlins take a 3-2 lead. 2 solo home runs here in the 4th inning for Florida. And the Marlins have a 3-2 advantage.
Well, you've got to make better pitches. You just can't. This guy has got just ridiculous pop in that bat. You want to pitch him, early in the count, first pitch. You just can't throw the ball over the plate. Now, obviously, that was a mistake. Andy Sonnenstein didn't mean to throw it there, but you've got to be very careful with a guy with that much power. You're going to throw a pitch that's 83, 84 miles an hour.
It's his 10th home run of the year, and here's a look at that home run pitch.
You see where Jaso's set up. He wants that ball away. It never got there. Stanton can cover the plate. He's got long arms, long body, a ton of leverage, and a ton of power.
Well, he averages 420 feet on every home run he hits. That's an average home run for him, 420 feet.
Yeah,
That's how strong he is.
It's just stupid power.
The 0-2 to Buck, skied into center. Luciano grabs that one to retire the side, but 2 home runs, 3 hits in the inning. Nobody left. 2-run score. We're headed into the 5th. And the Marlins have taken a 3-2 lead after 4. Leading as we move into the fifth. Time to take a look at the upcoming Rays schedule. Brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Rays and the Marlins here tomorrow. We'll be with you at 4 o'clock. David Price and Javier Vasquez. As we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. There's David Price looking for win number 6. And James Shields will pitch on Sunday, hooked up against Josh Johnson. And Shields will be looking for his 5th win. Casey Kochman. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the Rays first baseman. Elliott Johnson due next, and then Andy Sonnenstein. Two balls and a strike. Sanchez is one of those guys who they say when they're talking about his pitches. Oh, a shot right back off Sanchez. He's hustling and backhands a flip to first, and Kochman has a base hit. But they want to make sure Sanchez is okay. Well, that was a shot right back at him.
Here's the pitch. A changeup out over the plate. Gets right into the body of Sanchez. He's directing, trying to pick up that out. Let's listen. Got him right up in the chest. Still trying to make the play. He looks like he's all right.
Yeah, and here's a guy who, as we mentioned earlier, he's early in his career had elbow problems, and more recently shoulder issues. Was healthy all of last year, really the first time in his big league career that he's been able to put one season together when he was healthy all season long. And he says he's fine.
Yeah, that's scary. You know, that's part of the game, and that's something that you understand as a pitcher. I'm standing up on the rubber 60 feet, 6 inches away from home plate. By the time I deliver that baseball, I'm a whole lot closer than that. You know, I've cut that distance down by 5, 6, 7 feet. And so that ball, you understand that it can get whistled back at you, and there's not much you can do to protect yourself. You don't think of it when you're out there. You can't think of it when you're out there to try to be able to execute pitches, but boy, that is scary.
There's Elliott Johnson with a runner at first. And the first pitch to the Rays shortstop is in there for a strike. Well, the Marlins feel fortunate that Sanchez is all right. That's something that they've seen happen before. Ground ball to first. Gabby Sanchez to second out there. Back to first, not in time. Kochman is forced at second base. Josh Johnson just the other day was hit on the right forearm, a comebacker that Carlos Beltran got him, and a deflecting shot.
Yeah, he's throwing his arm up there to protect himself. Goes right off the forearm. Yeah, those balls will get whistled back up there at all shapes and sizes. Low, high, line drive, one hoppers.
Elliott Johnson back in. Josh Johnson all right after that. And he's going to pitch on Sunday against the Rays.
Here, Andy Sonnenstein has an opportunity to help himself out as well as the team.
Andy struck out his first time. One of 4 strikeouts recorded by Sanchez so far.
And Elliott Johnson runs well. Andy Sonnenstein can handle the bat. See how creative Joe Madden gets in his call. And you see Sanchez paying close attention to Johnson over at first base.
Yeah, whatever the Rays may have up, Sanchez trying to keep Johnson as close to first as he can. Again, he goes over there.
You know, and not only that, but they'll do a throw over just to see if Andy Sonnenstein, if he's going to bunt.
Yep.
If, you know, at first movement, usually the pitcher or whoever's at the plate, if they're going to bunt, they're going to start to square. So you see, is he tipping anything? Are they going to bunt or are they not?
And he fouls it the other way. That's a strike.
And all those throwovers, Andy Sonnenstein never flinched. And obviously, you see right there with the swing, not bunting.
Yeah, and base runners, that's one part of Sanchez's game that you might be able to get a little edge on. He had a number of stolen bases against him last year. I think the opposition successfully 11 out of 14 running situations.
They're 4 for 4 this year.
And there goes the runner. Pitch, a swing and a miss, and the throw is going to be in time this time. Ramirez putting the tag on Elliott Johnson, who's caught stealing for the first time. Elliott 3 out of 4 trying to steal, and the Marlins throw him out.
Well, John Buck, who's been trying to get better with his release, time of his release, no problem with the accuracy or the strength of that throw. He does have a very good arm, and when you put it there, it's going to be tough to run.
Sonnenstein swings through it. He's out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Florida. Two-run first, the big blow of the inning. Matt Joyce with the 2-run triple. Marlins got a run in their first and then tied it when Logan Morrison homered to open the bottom of the 4th. And they took the lead. 2 outs later when Mike Stanton hit one out of sight to left center field. That makes it a 3-2 ball game. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Justin Ruziano in there in the place of B.J. Upton, and Todd Callis has an update on that.
Dwayne, the update is this: tightness in his left gluteal muscle. Does not sound very serious, but B.J. Upton had to leave the game with tightness in his left gluteal muscle. It's the nicest way I can say it. Guys, back to you.
You can always find a way to say it the nicest way. You can rely on Todd Callis for that. 1-0 the count to Omar Infante. The pitch is a strike. And I think what Todd meant to say is that he's not nervous. He just got a physical discomfort.
Slight.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Slight.
Infante, Sanchez, and then Coughlin. Hey, J.P. Howell is up in the bullpen. That's great to see.
Well, that's typical Joe Madden fashion. When a guy comes back, gets called up, whatever it may be, Joe likes to get him in there as soon as possible. The situation warrants it.
Count still 1-2 to Infante. Hit the ball sharply to third in the second inning, starting a double play. Tap right side. Sonnenstein's on his way to cover. Takes the toss from Kochman. Infante is out of there. 3-1.
Well, send your favorite Rays to the All-Star game this summer. Vote Rays and vote often at RaysBaseball.com.
The pitcher Sanchez, he's 0 for 1, is grounded out. Giving it 1 for 16 on the year. Sonnenstein's given up 3 hits. Marlins are 3 runs. The Marlins have 6 hits off him. 2-0. And he came in 3-0 against the Marlins with a save, covering 7 appearances, and 2-0 here in 3 starts and 2 relief appearances. But down by a run right now. The pitch did not come back. 3-0 to the pitcher. See the 3 starts he's made. 2 wins sandwiched around a no decision. He gets the call. It's 3-1. Top of the order, Chris Coughlin on deck. That'll be strike 2. The count is full.
And he trying to come all the way back here to get the pitcher Sanchez.
Up the right side, that's going to slice out of play. And Andy will make another 3-2 pitch to his pitching opponent. Apparently royalty at the ballpark tonight.
I think you'd get a better seat.
Well, it's an attempt by royalty to mix with the common man.
Either that or a really small, nondescript country that no one really cares about. Hey, it's Run DMC.
All kinds of talent at the ballpark tonight. I'm not quite sure where we start there.
Where are we?
There's a ground ball to second. Zobrist takes care of that. 2 gone, and here's tonight's poll question, brought to you by Autoway. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message rates apply. Do you like interleague play? TB1, yes. TB2, no. Text your vote to 789-789. It's just a simple up or down question.
Right. Another question after a 5 a.m. arrival, obviously.
Because of interleague play.
Right, yes.
Pitch is high to Coughlin. Well, Joe Madden has made his thoughts pretty clear on that topic. He is not a fan of interleague play. He thinks its time has passed. And Jimmy Leland, the skipper of the Tigers, is right there with Madden. He's no fan of what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. I think that for a time it was neat, it was unique, something different, played different teams, but anymore.
Well, not only the travel, but, if you erase interleague play, it would do a lot to beef up the integrity of the schedule.
Yes, absolutely. Then all, the teams that you're going against in your own division, fighting it out for a division crown, you would all have played the same teams the same number of times. It's it's an equal playing field, where sometimes with the different matchups you get in interleague, there's a distinct advantage for some teams. I mean, how about the Marlins?
Do you think that would be desirable?
Well, yeah.
I mean, you would just think that logic and a sense of fairness and common sense would all lead you to that conclusion.
Well, right, but it was a novelty. It was an idea, a while back that.
That's a one-hopper hit past Kochman, and Cogman's on for the second time. He is 2 for 3.
Yeah, that was just a pitch there by Sonnenstein that was up in the zone, and Cogman pulls his hands through. Something he's been known to do. He does a nice job of keeping his hands inside the baseball. Pulled him through there, comes up with a 2-out hit. But, it was a novel idea back in the day. But, now it's kind of, I don't think the excitement, in certain markets, certainly, in Chicago when they play each other, New York when they play each other, there's some built-in excitement. But you think of the series going on right now, the Astros at the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Yawn.
Really?
Yawn. I mean,
Yeah.
there's enough of those.
There's Ramirez rolling it to third. Longoria takes it down to Zobrist to retire the side on a force play. We're at the end of 5. 3-2 Marlins. He's presented by the Hard Rock at Night. We're through 5. It's a one-run ball game. 3-2. Marlins leading the Rays. And John Jaso, top of the order, stepping in for the Rays. He takes a fastball in there for a strike. Foul the other way, 0-2. Jaso opened with a base hit, scored the first run of the game. And he did go around. He thought he'd check, but he's out on strikes. It's number 6 for Sanchez.
Well, this is just a reminder to remember to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment later in tonight's game.
And just as that moment, a cool breeze flittered through the ballpark. Here is Ben Zobrist. A ball, no strikes. The count to Zobrist. 1-1.
I'll tell you what, Anibal Sanchez, he threw 28 pitches in that first inning. Rays had him kind of rocking back and forth, and he has really settled down, controlled his pitch count.
Yeah, and how about that pitch right there?
Yeah, how about that pitch?
Wow.
A curveball, a true 12-6 curveball. Go along with that hard slider, the changeup we've seen, and the fastball. He's got it all working right now. After 28 in the first, he's at 83 pitches right now.
Zobrist hits this one a long way to the opposite field, but it's going to stay in the park on the track. Morrison makes the catch. So Ben Zobrist gave it a ride, but not deep enough.
Well, from left field, which right down the line is 330, and then it rides itself straight out all the way. So just a little bit left of center at 434. You see right there, that's just a straight line.
Yeah, and if that's not bad
Straighter
enough,
than
that
the one I
wall
drew.
out there is like 22 feet high.
Absolutely.
At
So
various points.
you can put a pretty good shot into it, but if you get it too far into left center field, there's a lot of room out there, and any kind of speed will be able to run it down.
There's a strike. All I've got to say is after watching you draw that straight line, you would be difficult to defend as a pass receiver.
I never would make it out of kindergarten right now.
I mean that's a pretty tough route to defend right there.
I thought this was lemonade.
Blame it on the early arrival. This one is fouled out of play. Johnny had a base hit his first time. Scored a run. Grounded out to second to end the top of the third. We're now in the sixth. And he takes one a little wide. J.P. Howell under the watchful eye of Bobby Ramos out there. Pop back of third. Dobbs angling into foul territory and cannot catch up to it.
Boy, it looked like he had a shot at it, too. He was hustling back there like he wanted to get back there and make the play, but then as he got close to where the low wall is and the tarp, tough to figure out where, and that ball just barely makes it over the wall. He had a shot there, sticks his glove out.
David taps it right side. Sanchez will cover, taking the toss from Gabby Sanchez to retire the Rays. Bottom of the sixth coming. One-run ball game, Florida. For the Rays, he's making his first appearance since September the 22nd, 2009. It's been 605 days, missing the entire season last year because of shoulder surgery, and it's been a year and a day removed from that surgery. And so J.P. Howell will take over in relief of Andy Sonnenstein.
You imagine what the Butterflies are like right now for J.P. Howell. I don't care how many rehab assignments or rehab outings that you've had, how many times you've gotten back up on the bump. Like you said, Dwayne, 605 days.
And he made 9 rehab appearances. And so J.P. Howell on, and he's going to face the middle part of the order, starting with Logan Morrison. He's driven in 2 of the 3 runs, and the pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Morrison homered to right center field in the 4th inning. Sonnenstein worked 5 innings.
Now two pitches in, and you can already see some of the adjustments that J.P. Howell has made to his mechanics, not falling off so violently towards the third base line like he had done in the past, in much more control of himself.
And he picks up the outside part of the plate for a strike. It's 2-1. Runs, 7 hits allowed by Sonnenstein. And there is ball 3. 3-1. JP in the 9 rehab appearances. Pitched a total of 9 2/3. Struck out 14 and walked 2. He's behind Morrison. Morrison sends a fly ball to center. Rugiano goes back and makes the catch just as he hit the warning track. 1 away. Well, J.P. Howell also has a new number, as you can see, and Todd Callis has more on that.
That's right, Dwayne. No more 39. Here's JP's explanation for the new 74.
74 is it's a tribute, shout out to him, a great friend of mine who passed away just this past Mother's Day. The 7 is for G in the alphabet, 7th letter in the alphabet, and 4 is for D. His name was Guy Dubetz, and man, if without him I wouldn't be talking to you right now, and he's helped me in so many ways, and not just me, my family, and so many young kids, and he had a very aggressive approach, and he's very excitable, and it kind of passed on to me. I have a lot of him in me, and his funeral is actually today, so it's very ironic that I'm debuting and he's getting put under, but at the same time it's something where it's special for his family and me also.
So his tribute to Guy Dubetz, who not only helped him as a pitcher, but guys, he said he really helped him stay on track in life as well in Sacramento. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, he gets Sanchez, Gabby Sanchez, on a fly ball to left. And now here's Dobbs. That's a strike. Breaking ball. Into the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two up, 2 down here in the 6th. J.P. Howell making his first appearance of the year, the first since September of 2009. 1 hop to short off the glove of Zobrist, and Dobbs is aboard. Be an error charged to Zobrist. The 3rd of the year charged to Ben.
Now that ball was hit sharply, but it's a 1-hopper right to Ben Zobrist. He just, right here, kind of takes that ball for granted, glove off to the side. never watch the ball all the way into the glove. It hits right off the top. Marlins get a base runner.
So now Howell is going to have to face Mike Stanton, who's 2 for 2, including a long home run in the fourth. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. Sonnenstein worked 5. He made 75 pitches. Gave up 3 runs, 7 hits. Now J.P. Howell facing his 4th hitter. Roller foul up the right side toward the dugout. Brandon Gomes is up, loosening in the Braves bullpen. Pulls it foul outside of third. 2-2.
It'll be interesting to see how Joe Madden decides to use J.P. Howell. How often, for how long. And I think that's going to be something that he's going to be cautious, obviously, with J.P. and let him ease his way back in. But at the end of the day, this still is the big leagues, and he's a viable member, an important member of that bullpen.
And Stanton did go around on the appeal. Wally Bell says he's out of there. Stanton doesn't like it. That retires the side. No runs in error. A man left. We're through 6. 3-2 Florida. On the road against the Florida Marlins tonight, and they trail 3-2 facing Anibal Sanchez, who has been very good again tonight. Rays got to him for those 2 runs in the first, and that's really been it, with the exception of a base hit by Kochman in the 5th. That's a strike to open the 7th, a strike to Longoria. Evan out in front. 0-2.
Boy, that's something that Anibal Sanchez has been doing all night long, changing speeds, moving the ball around. He's got all of his pitches working. Dwayne, he's retired 15 of the last 16 hitters he's faced.
Ground ball to second. Infante makes the pickup. Well, coming into this game, He had gone 15 innings, allowing no runs, 5 hits, with 20 strikeouts and only 2 walks. The Rays got to him for 2 runs on 3 hits in the first, and literally nothing outside of that base hit since then.
He has absolutely found it. That first inning, the fastball command wasn't quite there, the velocity, the good mix of pitches. But once he was able to get out of that first inning, then it has been fastball in, fastball away, occasional curveball, the good power slider, change up to lefties. I mean, he has really been dealing and just keeping this Rays lineup defensive and off balance.
Matt Joyce takes one as it drops low, 1-1 the count.
And the thing that's impressive about him, with all those quality plus pitches, he does a great job of mixing them. So it's just tough to sit on a pattern and a certain pitch. He will throw them all in every count.
High fly ball hit deep the other way. Morrison back against the wall, and it's over his head. Extra bases for Joyce. He'll turn second. He's going to go for 3, and he is safe. Matt Joyce never broke stride. He had it in front of him, rounding the bag at second, and headed straight for third, a 3-base hit.
The Florida Marlin outfield got lazy. That's the bottom line. Matt Joyce should have never made it to third base, but the Marlin outfield, indecision, they just took their good old time. Here's a ball elevated. He's able to get it up high off that wall out in left field. And then right here, who's going to get it? They kind of bounce it around, and you're right, Dwayne. Matt Joyce was going to be aggressive from the get-go, and the good thing about that was that play was happening in front of him, so he could see, react off of what he saw, and he took third.
Infield in, and the pitch to Ruggiano's inside. So 2 triples tonight for Matt Joyce. He had no triples coming into this game. He tripled in 2 runs in the first inning, and now a 1-out triple here in the 7th. And Ruggiano takes the pitch down.
Well, that is just absolutely huge. A double, that's great, but more than likely a base hit is going to have to bring him home. Where here, a sacrifice fly with the infield pulled in, you hit the ball hard, a lot easier to squeeze it through.
And there's ball 3, 3-0. Well, we're seeing, we see over and over, and we've talked about this before, why the Rays sent Joyce to the minor leagues and didn't have him up here before, and it was to make him a better base runner and a better outfielder as well as a better hitter. There's a strike. And we've seen him really become a very good base runner, and he was right there. He was heads up all the way.
Instinctive. He's running to second base. He sees what's going out there in left center field. The ball not picked up cleanly. No sense of urgency.
And ball 4 inside to Ruggiano. So the Rays now have men at first and third, with Kochman coming up. Edwin Rodriguez looking on, and they have action now in the bullpen. Mike Dunn, a hard-throwing left-hander. They'll use Dunn against left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. So the Rays trying to cash in on this threat. Over to first. Luciano back in. Matt had 3 triples last year. He has 2 tonight. And the pitch is low. Sanchez a little over 100 pitches. 1 ball, no strikes. Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach. Here's that last pitch, pretty close. Yeah, perfect. That's a perfect pitch.
Absolutely.
Cut and a miss, and the count is 1-1.
You can see Sanchez reach back there with that fastball and blow it right by Kochman. You've worked hard the entire ball game. After falling down early, have the lead, and now you see how tenuous that is. First and third here with one out, getting late in the game. You're going to see everything he's got here the next couple of hitters.
Ruggiano back in at first base. And the Rays have their first scoring opportunity since the first. And a fly ball toward the line and left. Long run for Morrison. That's going to be a foul ball and out of the reach of Morrison. And the count advances to 1-2.
And if you're a power pitcher with strikeout stuff, and Anibal Sanchez is that kind of a guy, more strikeouts than innings pitched, you wonder if he doesn't mind with that ball dropping foul. Because if that ball's caught, you're going to get a tag up by Joyce at third, and this game's going to be tied, where maybe Sanchez is saying, don't catch that ball, let it go foul because I'm going to get the strikeout here.
The 1-2. Kochman enough to stay alive on that one.
Yeah, Kochman protecting against that slider in. That was just swatted away. Almost like he wasn't even trying to put it in play, just to foul it off.
Now time called. Granted by the plate umpire John Hirschbeck. And a foul. Look out, Tom Foley. Foley showing some great quickness down there at third base. Ball ricocheted back out onto the field.
I have the Rays signs, and what he told Kochman there was hit it that hard in between the white lines. That's what that sign was.
Did he verbalize that?
No, it was all done by hand gestures.
1-2 the count. Joyce tripled to left, off the wall with one out. Ruggiano walked. Now 1-2 the count to Kochman. And again, time. Kochman requesting time. And a little looper into center. That's going to fall for a base hit, and here comes Joyce. This game is tied. Kochman battling his way through that one and drives in the tying run. Ruggiano stopped at second. And the Rays are even here. It's a 3-3 ball game.
Got just enough of it. That ball elevated, and he knows it. Sanchez is not real happy right now. Well placed. Drops it out into center field. You got a tie ball game still. Runners at first and second with just one out.
And Elliott Johnson is due up. Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach, to the mound.
Well, this week, Fox Saturday Baseball is back in prime time as interleague play gets into full swing when Jose Reyes and the Mets head to the Bronx to take on Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees in a showdown between crosstown rivals. Or the Cubs head to Fenway to square off against the Red Sox. This week, Fox Saturday Baseball in prime time begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area.
Well, Matt Joyce has been a big part of what's gone on tonight for the Rays. He's driven in 2 and has scored a run. A couple of triples, the key hits. And here's Elliott Johnson with runners at first and second. It's way high. 1-0. Joyce tying a team record with those 2 triples tonight. You think of guys with speed when you think of triples, and Carl Crawford, of course, had done that a number of times for the Rays. And a little tap back toward the middle. Glove by Ramirez to Infante. 1, first base 2. Boy, that's a nifty double play. Turned by the Florida Marlins to retire the side. The Rays got the tying run. The triple by Joyce and a base hit by Kochman. Top of the 7th over on the double play, with this game tied 3-3. Well, you saw the Rays tie this game in the top of the 7th on that base hit by Casey Kochman. The new pitcher is Brandon Gomes, and his first pitch to John Buck is too low. 1 ball, no strikes. 8th appearance for Gomes. Howell worked 1 inning, picked up a strikeout. Two and 0. Buck, Infante, and the pitcher spot due. The Rays have more action in the bullpen. Cesar Ramos listening in the bullpen now. 2-0 the count to the catcher. High pop foul. That's going to be out of play. 2-1. The base hit by Kochman in the top half of this inning came when he was behind in the count, a 1-2 count, and he fouled off a couple pitches. He is the best 2-strike hitter in the major leagues right now. He came into this game hitting .341 with 2 strikes on it.
And you see when he does get 2 strikes, and it's something to look for going forward, watch how he changes his approach. His hands get he puts his hands closer to his body, and you can see, he had that one slider that was coming in towards him that he just kind of swatted at, just to try to put the ball into play and go right back up the middle. We've seen him get a lot of hits up the middle, but he looks to push the ball up the middle and the other way and shorten down his swing. That's why he's been able to be so effective when he's down in the count.
That's his equivalent to choking up with 2 strikes.
That's exactly right, Dwayne. Without actually physically doing it, he is choking down his swing.
Swing and a miss. Buck is out of there on strikes. First out here in the 7th. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And obviously it's working for Kochman.
It absolutely is. Here, how about this pitch? Late action by Gomes right out over the plate, gets Buck to swing over the top of it. But that is such a good, that is your by-the-book, prototypical 2-strike approach, is to shorten your swing down and look to go up the middle the other way, and he is executing it better than anybody in baseball.
Now Infante takes a strike. Sonnenstein worked 5. J.P. Howell back active, and he pitched a scoreless inning. A 1-1 count. So here we are, the Rays and the Marlins. The Marlins with 3 runs, 7 hits. The Rays 3 runs, 6 hits tonight. It's going to be out of play. 1-2. Gomes last worked in the New York series. It was Tuesday. Pitched an inning. Tapper going to be foul. Holds the count at a ball, 2 strikes. David Price, he'll be pitching tomorrow. We'll be with you at 4 o'clock tomorrow. All the way to the backstop. It's 1-1.
5-hole.
David Price against Javier Vasquez tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we'll be with you at 1 o'clock. James Shields against Josh Johnson. So some great pitching in store, it would seem. Infante is hanging tough. Still 2-2. Still a 2-2 count with another foul ball. And again, a foul ball, this time hitting a part of his foot. Jaso is going to spend a little time with Gomes.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with the Rays. Exclusive party areas and great group options are available. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com to reserve your seats today.
And a foul ball one more time. And so this next pitch will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Well, we've seen this over and over again. Brandon Gomes with that low three-quarter arm slot, getting good sink on the ball. Omar Infante fighting for his life at the plate, just continues to chop him foul.
And he did not go. The count is full. Took 11 pitches to get the count full, but here we are, 3-2.
Yeah, this has been a nice bat by Omar Infante. Gets to see a lot of pitches. Increases chances to get a mistake.
And he got it. Boy, that's a great battle. Gomes stayed right with Infante and strikes him out swinging.
No, the best pitch of the 11. You see the pitches all over the place. Watch this take off. Not exactly where he wanted it, but it doesn't matter when his hitter swings and misses. He wanted that ball away, but that really cut across the plate. He picks up a big strikeout there for the second out.
So 2 outs. And Joe Madden comes out. Well, the pitcher's spot was due. And that's going to be it for Gomes. Ramos will get the call from the bullpen. So while the Rays make a double switch here, Rodriguez is going to enter the game. We'll be back in a moment. Cousins had been on deck. They had announced him, and that brought Cesar Ramos into the game. Now Wes Helms will hit for Cousins, and the pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. So Sanchez, the pitcher, lifted for the pinch hitter Cousins, and Cousins, the pinch hitter, lifted for Wes Helms. So the right-handed hitting Helms faces Ramos. 2-0.
You got all that?
I got it. Pencil and white.
Yeah, right.
You don't do it in ink, that's for sure. Well, Helms has been dividing time at third base with Dobbs. They've got a platoon situation going over there. 2 outs, base is empty. Ramos falls behind 3-0, and the Rays getting into the act here in the double switch with Sean Rodriguez taking over at shortstop. That means he'll go into the pitcher's spot and hit ninth and lead off in the eighth, with the pitcher going into the eighth spot vacated by Elliott Johnson. And now they're going to go ahead and walk Helms intentionally. So he is headed to first. Chris Coughlin, the top of the order, will be up there. And Jim Hickey heads to the mound to have a little conference. So the wheels are turning here in this tie game in the bottom of the seventh.
Well, fly through Tropicana Field on Sunday, May the 29th, and the first 10,000 kids 14 and under get a Super Sam Fold superhero cape. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today.
So the conference breaks up on the hill. Sonnenstein worked 5, Howell 1, Gomes 2/3, and now Cesar Ramos in there. And Coughlin, the hitter. And he takes a pitch low. Breaking ball to start him. Two and 0. That pitch is down. Ramos fell behind Helms and walked him intentionally. And now he's behind Coughlin here. 3 balls, no strikes. Coughlin doubled and scored in the first. He singled in the fifth, and in between he struck out. And there's a strike. 3-1. Lefty on lefty here. And a swing and a miss. Well, he's come back to take the count full, and this really is a matchup that Madden wanted because Coughlin was hitting only 106 against lefties.
Well, look at that swing on a 3-1 fastball. This ball down and in, just a very, well.
But you got to throw strikes, and he fell behind
well,
him.
that's
3-0.
That's the key.
Now he's back full with him. And he strikes him out. A wave and a miss to retire the side. We're headed into the eighth, tied 3-3. Rest On. Buddy's Home Furnishings with lease purchase programs or up to 6 months, save as cash on furniture, TVs, appliances, and more. And by your local Southern Ford dealers. Tie ball game, 3-3. The Rays scored a run in the 7th inning to tie it. They'll be coming in to bat in the 8th inning, and they'll face the hard-throwing left-hander, Michael Dunn.
Dunn on for the 20th time. He's got a 3-2 record. Coming out of the bullpen, 4 holds, an ERA under 2. 25 strikeouts in 19 innings, and how about that opponent's average? 115.
Yeah, this guy's serious, and he has a very serious arm. He can get the ball up there in a hurry. Edwin Rodriguez goes to the hard-throwing left-hander. He came over in the Ugla deal. And here's Sean Rodriguez hitting out of the 9th spot to face Dunn. First pitch, and that's in there for a strike. 94. That first pitch. So Sean from Miami. And there's a line drive base hit. That's headed toward the warning track and will go all the way to the wall. Rodriguez around second and will stop with a double. Leadoff 2-base hit for Sean Rodriguez. And from the sounds of it, Sean's got a lot of fans here.
Local from Miami. Don't try to pull it. How about that? 95 miles an hour, knee high, outside corner. Just go with it. That is your only chance. He sticks the head of the bat out there. He hits it solid, gets it down into the corner, picks up his 8th double. Gives the Rays a threat here to lead off the 8th.
Now Jaso's going to be lifted, and Kelly Shopik will come off the bench. Jaso had gone 1 for 3. Shopik swings through the fastball, strike 1. Shopik homered in Toronto last night. He connected off the left-hander Mark Zubczynski. Down, covered up by John Buck. So Joe Madden maybe, at least on that first pitch, trying to catch lightning, see if it'll strike again.
Well, the home run off Zubczynski, another really tough left-hander out of that Blue Jay bullpen.
One and two.
And right now the swing's a little bit too big and a little bit too long for that kind of velocity. Let's see if he shortens it here with 2 strikes. Try to at least hit the ball the other way and be able to move Rodriguez up to 3rd. Dunn's going to go for the strikeout. Kelly Shopik would like a base hit. At very minimum, a productive out.
And a foul ball back. One and two. And a swing and a miss, and boy, Dunn just fired that one right by him at 96 miles per hour.
Well, when you elevate a fastball with that kind of a velocity, it is really tough to get on top of, almost impossible. You hope you can just foul that pitch off, but it's so close to your eyes, the ball looks big. Problem is, it's 96 miles an hour and it's by you.
Now Ben Zobrist turns around to bat right-handed. And he takes a strike.
We see that a first pitch slider by Dunn. Obviously, they got the memo from the rest of the American League clubs. Ben Zobrist hunts fastballs and can turn just about anybody's around.
He fouls it back. He got a fastball at 95. So a slider at about 86 and a fastball at 95. Outside. More hard stuff there, up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit on him and he fouls it away. Johnny Damon on deck. Rays getting the leadoff double from Sean Rodriguez in this tie game. 3-3 in the 8th. Foul ball back, out of play it goes. Hits are even, 7 apiece. Game tied 3-3. John Buck out to talk with Dunn. The pitch down a bit. Fastball, 2-2. Sanchez worked 7, done in his first inning. Rodriguez greeted him with the double. Up and away. 3-2. The Marlins coming into this year really wanted to beef up their bullpen and their defense, and they think they've done both. And Dunn is a big part of that. With his strong arm out of the bullpen.
Yeah, the bullpen, you're right, Dwayne, has been a strong point for this ball club this year, right at the top of the heap in all of baseball and across the board in the statistics out of the pen. Dunn obviously a big part of that. Power lefty. You love having a left-hander coming out of the pen. They are able to mix and match with Dunn, the power guy with the big fastball, with Randy Choate. You know, the guy that's going to come from underneath and flip the ball around.
And a big cut in the miz. Zobrist out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts. Dunn took care of Shopik with a fastball at 96, and he got Zobrist with a fastball.
Yeah, Ben Zobrist put up a game effort. Look at this in Foxmo. High octane heat. Ben Zobrist took a rip at that one, came up empty. Dunn just 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Yeah, but you're building a bullpen. You want to have different styles. You know, we've talked about that before. You don't want a bunch of carbon copy clones coming out of the bullpen, and Marlins have been able to do that, and they've been effective thus far.
First pitch to Johnny Damon, a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Damon had a base hit in the first, 1 for 3. Upstairs again. 2-0.
You know, when you leave a slider up like that, what you're typically doing is you're not getting on top of the baseball and out over the top with the slider action, with the grip and the way that you rotate your fingers over the top of the baseball. You're getting kind of around side to side on the baseball, and that's what allows that ball to, or forces that ball to stay flat, no depth.
There's a high fly ball back into right. Stanton going back to the wall, and he makes the catch right in front of the wall to retire the side. Damon gave it a ride, and the Rays leave Rodriguez at second. Still tied 3-3. Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. And by your greater Tampa Bay area Buick GMC dealers. Bottom of the 8th, and the Rays make some changes. Joel Peralta enters the game. He is pitcher number 5, making his 21st appearance. Kelly Shopik's going to be the new catcher, staying on after hitting for J-So. Sam Fold enters the game. He's in left.
Joel Peralta is going to work his way right through the middle heart of this Marlin lineup. Here in the bottom of the 8th of a tie ball game. 3-3.
And here's Anthony Ramirez.
All excited.
1 ball, no strikes. So Ramirez, who is 0 for 3, up here now. Peralta follows Sonnenstein, Howe, Gomes, and Cesar Ramos. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Morrison next, and then Sanchez. Peralta goes into the third spot in the Rays batting order, by the way. There's a foul ball back, and the count is 1-2. This has to be one thing that Madden likes about interleague play, because now he's got Rodriguez, the shortstop, hitting ninth, and he's got Bull, the left fielder, hitting eighth, and the pitcher hitting third. It's right down his alley.
Absolutely it is. He's brought that style of baseball over to the American League. As far as the running, putting guys in motion, good defense, a lot of athletes out on the field. That's like old style National League baseball, but when you get to combine it with all the moves, it's in heaven right now.
And that pitch taken down. He checked in time. It's 2-2. Rays got 5 from Sonnenstein, an inning from J.P. Howell, 2/3 from Gomes, and a third from Ramos. Ramirez fouls it back. Well, how about the ball that Damon hit that sent Stanton back to the wall and right? Well, I thought for a moment it might get out of here.
He hit it awfully high. A couple more feet, there would have been celebration time in that Rays dugout. But instead, we trudge on.
Peralta's 2-2. Ramirez shoots a base hit into right field to the left of Silvers. Now the Marlins have their leadoff man on.
Now Hanley Ramirez gets a fastball up and away. Just shoots it the other way. He came into this at bat 0 for 5 lifetime of Joel Peralta. He shoots this one out into right field, and now the Marlins have a runner on with nobody out.
Yeah, and the other thing, just 173 coming into this game against right-handed pitching. But Ramirez did have a couple hits in their game last night and has gone 4 for 10 on their homestand, so they're hoping he's showing signs of rounding out into the hitter they know Ramirez is. He's at first base right now with Logan Morrison, the hitter. Swing and a miss, a little something extra on that one.
And there was a little indecision there on the swing by Morrison. I think it was almost as if he was deciding, do I swing? I should. Because that was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but he was tardy.
Morrison drove in a run with a ground ball in the first, hit a home run in the fourth. He is 1 for 3. And lines it over the head of Rodriguez. That's going to go into left center, extra bases. Ramirez will go to third, and Morrison's in at second with a double. Now the Marlins have a major threat.
Yeah, now it's going to take a minor miracle for the Rays to get out of this without surrendering a run. Morrison, watch him follow that split finger right down and away. Hit it hard, and once it gets over the glove of Sean Rodriguez, we talked about left center field could play awfully big here. You got to track that ball down, and that allows the Marlins to get runners on second and third now.
Morrison showing an Adrian Gonzalez stroke right there.
No doubt about it. I mean, he just swung through a fastball up in the zone out over the plate. Then he gets a split finger down and away. And do you see how he just very nicely waited on it, let it get deep?
Great piece of hitting right there by
that was
the young outfielder.
That's something that you put on a videotape to teach youngsters.
Now Sanchez with the infield in. A pitch down and away. A ball and no strikes. One-0 pitch. That's down. 2-0. So the Rays and Peralta in a big spot right here. Nunez up in the bullpen. And that's high. 3-0. Single and a double to open the bottom of the 8th. Dobbs on deck. And a high pop-up, swinging 3-0, foul ball. Shopping's going to run out of room. Well, the Rays hoping they could get a break there, but it's out of play. And the count is 3-1 to Sanchez.
Well, that would have been huge.
I'll tell you, with Ramirez not hitting the way they had hoped early in the season, and getting Morrison back is big for the Marlins, and Sanchez behind him. Ramirez really augmented by these two hitters, Morrison and Sanchez.
And if Hanley Ramirez can get things going, boy, does that make a pretty formidable middle of the lineup for the Marlins.
3-1 the count. Fouls this one out of play. 3-2.
Peralta's got a chance here. Those were not that swing in particular, not very good. Gabby Sanchez on a 3-1 fastball. Out there feeling for the baseball instead of letting her rip. Peralta here has a chance to go for the strikeout. Should be a big out here for the Rays.
Ground ball foul. Peralta have to make another 3-2 pitch. Rays tied the game in the 7th. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Rays led 2-0, 2-1, then trailed 3-2. Tied it with that run in the 7th. And the Marlins have a major threat underway in their half of the 8th. Three-two again. And a high fly ball. Right center. Joyce will make the catch. The tag by Ramirez. Throw to the plate. He is safe. And over to third base goes Morrison. 4-3 ball game. Florida takes the lead on the high sacrifice fly to right center off the bat of Gabby Sanchez.
Yeah, I didn't know if he got enough of it to get it out far enough to score Hanley Ramirez. That ball off the bat stayed up there long enough for Matt Joyce to be able to get it in good throwing position. Try to make it do or die throw. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. You see it off the bat straight up. Matt Joyce getting his momentum working behind it. And airmails this ball going for the out. little bit late. That also allowed Morrison to move up to third, so he's now over there less than 2 outs.
Yep. Dobbs, the hitter, due, and Joe Madden's out there with a prolonged discussion going on the mound. So the Rays are down by 1, and the next order of business is to keep it that way, not give up anything else. The Rays have 1 shot left, and they will have Longoria and Joyce to lead it off. Ruggiano due to follow in the 9th. So the Rays are going to walk Dobbs, the left-handed hitter. And he's been tearing it up against righties. So he'll get the intentional walk, even though the big bat of Stanton is on deck.
Well, the thing about Stanton, the Rays do indeed go after him. He has a tendency to get pole conscious, and he will spin off some balls. And so if you can make your pitches down and away to him, you may be able to get him to roll one over, give you the old 2-for-1, get a double play.
So there's the walk. Dobbs goes to first. Morrison already at third base. Mike Stanton's going to be the hitter. Stanton homered to left center field in the 4th. That was against Sonnenstein. Both starters out of this game as records go.
You can see where the Rays have their infielders really swung around. Look at this hole. Huge hole over on the right side for Stanton.
And he hits a popper right side. And that ball's going to be caught by Kotzman. Here's a tag at third by Morrison. And he's going to score. Morrison scores on that popper, as Kotzman had to go out there and make the catch and found himself in an awkward position to make much of a throw.
Yeah, this is a slider down and away. Stanton pulls off of it, hits a little popper. Kotzman has to run back to make that catch, and the Marlins taking a page out of the Rays book, being super aggressive. You see Kotzman right there down the line, and then he turns inside right here. You see him, Morrison, he's going. And Casey Kotzman catches that ball awkwardly, then turns to the inside. He gets no momentum on the throw, and that's what allowed Morrison to stroll home.
It's a 2-run 8th. Now the pitch to Buck. He lets the fly ball to center. That's caught out there by Ruggiano to retire the side, but the Marlins put up a 2 spot. We go to the 9th, 5-3 Florida. In the 8th to take a 5-3 lead into the 9th inning. Let's take a look at that tag play on the pop-up off the bat of Stanton. We're not sure, but we think, and these are now synced up. And we're not certain, but there was some discussion between Madden and Scott Berry, the third base umpire, but it appeared there, if that was the topic of the discussion, that Morrison hung around long enough to make sure that he did not leave early. Now Nunez, in the first pitch to Longoria, is up and in. A ball and no strikes.
Well, the Rays have their work cut out for him with Leo Nunez. 23rd appearance. Look at the saves. 15 out of 15.
First pitch skied back into left. That'll send Morrison back. Not yet to the track, though. And he makes the catch. One away. Now Matt Joyce will face Nunez.
Leo Nunez has that loosey-goosey arm action where he creates a lot of arm side run, good velocity on the fastball, a very good changeup. So far this year, as far as the saves go, he's been perfect.
And Matt Joyce takes the first pitch. Yeah, he's got that great fastball and a change, and he's been throwing the slider a little bit more. He's teamed up with John Buck again. They were together in Kansas City, and Buck has him throwing that slider every once in a while.
Yeah, I was out in Kansas City when Leo Nunez got his first taste out there, and you could tell, if he could put it together mentally and just the grind of being a guy out of the bullpen, being ready to pitch every day. He certainly had the physical tools, and he has done that. And you're right, there's something to be said about getting the band back together.
Swing and a miss. Joyce is out on strikes.
Well, that's a strikeout pitch, much like James Shields used his changeup. Creates so much movement with the fastball, the change, good arm action, and you start tinkering around with the slider, and it's just not fair.
Now Justin Ruggiano. Slow it away. One ball, no strikes. Ruggiano has struck out and walked tonight. And he lifts this one into right center field. Coughlin, the center fielder, makes the catch, and this game is over. It's a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and the Florida Marlins have taken the first game of this series. 5-3 the final. Dunn will get the win. Peralta will suffer the loss. It is a save, number 16 for Nunez. Before 18,111, the Marlins win this game over the Rays 5-3, and we'll be back in a moment.